Today's video is going to be sponsored by Quarterback, and if you do not know what Quarterback is already, then you guys are seriously missing out. Quarterback is an absolutely free application that allows you to compete in challenges versus other players in real time in order to earn free RP that you can then go on to unlock champions and skins for absolutely no price. Quarterback is insanely fun and easy to use, and I highly encourage that all of you guys join my club using the link in the description and get started today. My club is currently in Division 2, and I am trying my hardest to get to Division 1, but I do need some extra help. So again, I highly encourage you guys to use the link in the description to join my club, earn yourself some free RP in the process, and also help me get my club to Division 1. Best of luck in your quarterback challenges, and now let's get into the video. Hello everybody, and welcome to the third ever episode of the Real Talk podcast. Today I am joined by the jungler and ADC of the second place Twitch Rivals tournament. What was your guys' team again?
Team One Tricks.
Team One Trick. Okay, joined by your Princess and CaptainMonk. I'll pass it off to them to give themselves a little bit of an introduction. Monk, why don't you get us started off?
Why me first? Ladies first, of course.
Ladies, okay, you know, my bad.
Go ahead, Monk. Go ahead.
I'm the lady now?
I try not to make assumptions.
Alright, my name's CaptainMonk. I've been making League of Legends YouTube videos since 2013. Actually, in March of this year, it'll be my 6-year anniversary making League videos for YouTube. And I've been kind of thinking I want to get into streaming since it seems like today's day and age of video game content is really much more stream focused rather than YouTube. YouTube should kind of be the backbone. So, I know, that's like my TLDR. How about you, Jaden?
My name's Jaden. I go by Your Princess on the internet, and I'm a full-time League of Legends streamer. I also do YouTube on the side, like very, very small amount of YouTube, and I'm also a college student, so just balancing everything, and yeah.
Awesome. And then links to their Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all that good stuff will be down in the description. Please go check them out. But let's get right into some topics. So, I've done 2 episodes of this podcast already. The first 2 episodes I did it with support mains, and it was pretty easy because we're all support mains, so we have a lot to talk about. Us, on the other hand, we're much different in our approach to streaming and YouTube and what we play and stuff. But what I did come to the conclusion is that we have a few things in common. We all play and suffer through solo queue, right? We're all part of the League Partner Program. We all participated in Twitch Rivals, even though you guys went all the way to the finals and I only played 2 games and lost
Still
everything.
playing.
Okay, so those
Watch
are going to be the kind of the topics that we're talking about today. So the first topic I want to talk about is something that I think viewers can probably relate to the most, and that's going to be solo queue. So season 9 solo queue has been a mess in my opinion, but I believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there that have been like, no, I enjoy solo queue right now. Like, I like the meta, I like the positional ranks. I want to hear what you guys think. How has season 9 solo queue been for you guys so far? Let's go ladies first this time. How about that?
I think how to wrap up my entire season 9 so far is I had a Calista top laner yesterday say I'm not in my main role, so I can int, and that was it.
Yeah, that sums up season 9 pretty nicely.
So
AD carries are good now though, but not the ones
true.
that I specifically play. It's mostly like the crit ones. So
You play like Jhin, Callista,
I stopped
Kaisa.
playing Jhin. I actually have been playing like
Excuse
Vayne
me.
and Callista. No, actually, Jin's. I think after Twitch Rivals, I was just like, I only played Jhin the entire time. So now I'm just like, I'm tired of Jhin. So I just play like
You think it could be like PTSD, like you're playing Jhin and then it just reminds you of like losing Twitch Rivals? Is that what it is?
No, I think if anything, playing Jhin would be really good because I had like that coordination with Swifty to like play really well in that super like strategic and team environment. So I was like super excited and like super like try hard, but I brought him into solo queue and it's just like not the same because I'm so used to like Swifty's hooks and now I just don't have that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you said it very briefly, but like a recap is basically the positional ranking system you guys think is bad, right? And then you guys didn't even mention this, but you guys are aware of like the LP problems that were happening. Like at the very beginning, people were getting like plus 50 and then like minus 13, and then people who just played a ton had like 39% win rates, but were like 800 LP, right? You
Yeah,
guys are all aware of that.
saw
So now what they are attempting to do is like they reversed it. So now no matter what your win rate is, I don't know if you guys have witnessed this lately, maybe it's just me actually, but it's like even if you are like winning a lot of games, let's say you have like a 60% win rate, you're still losing like a lot of LP per game and like winning not a lot. Are you guys experiencing the same thing?
Yeah.
I haven't been playing much lately, but what I can say is that I definitely noticed, like, right off the bat of season 9, it was way too much LP gain, not much lost, and then the reverse, like this most recent patch, where you're not gaining much and you're losing a ton. At least that's what I'm
Yeah.
seeing all over the internet. That's what everyone's saying.
Randomly all of a sudden, just like we gain like basically nothing. We lose a lot more.
All right, cool. Because the next question I want to talk about includes like a ranked reset, and I wanted to make sure you guys were on the same page as me first, so I didn't just open it up, be like, "Hey, let's reset solo queue." Are you guys with me? But okay, we all kind of agree that solo queue is a mess, and there has been some talk about a ranked reset where they're basically like, "Sorry guys, we messed up the first month or whatever. We are going to remove positional ranks," because they did say that actually. They said if positional ranks does not work out, we're willing to get rid of it, right? And on that, on top of like the LP problems. I honestly think that a ranked reset, or if they just come out and say, you know, we're sorry, we know you guys put a lot of time into early season, but we're gonna have to start over. Are you guys a fan of that or no?
I'm not against the idea of removing it and just like restarting the season, but one thing that actually I was talking with some right employees within LPP about was they were actually asking for like feedback from LPP about what the positional ranking system might lead to, and just asking us for questions so they could better polish it, which I guess didn't really work out. But an idea I threw their way that I still stand by is why have one rank? Why have positional ranks? Why not have champion ranks? When we have this champion mastery system, but at the end of the day, it's just going to show who's played their champion a lot over the years. Whereas each season, I would love to know who's a challenger, like, I don't know, Thresh player, or who is a challenger Jin player. I don't care what they are in other champions, right? But if somebody is like a Jin main and they're playing Jin and they're in challenger on that champion, that goes to show they're a great Jin player. Kind
Okay,
of see what I'm saying?
question. Are
Go
you
ahead.
suggesting that this would replace the current rank, or if it would be like an addition to the ranks? Where you have like, hey, I played a game as Jin and I won, so I got plus 18 towards my rank, and I got plus 18 towards Jin. Or are you implying that it replaces it?
I'm not really sure. There's a lot of different ways this could go. It could replace the rank system altogether. It could kind of be on the side. I just think the whole champion mastery thing doesn't really show who's good at the character. It just shows who plays a lot of games as that character and might have gotten a few S's at some point playing against maybe noobs, maybe good players. We don't know. So I think having a way to kind of gauge somebody's skill on a champion rather than just their overall elo would be great. Because I'll be the first to admit, I've been in games where I didn't get my role and I was like playing like a gold player because I got stuck playing a role I don't play, even though it was a diamond game. Where if I'm gonna get stuck playing a role I don't play and I'm gonna play at a gold level in a diamond game, I should be able to play a champion that reflects that, and people should be able to look that up and be like, oh, he's playing Leona support. He doesn't play this much. Okay, let's not expect much of him, right? And maybe the LP will be kind of different because if I am playing a role that I don't play on a champion I don't really play, then if I lose, then I should only lose a little bit LP. But if I win, maybe I should win a lot more, right? Maybe gauge the LP gain and loss based upon like how you should be winning or losing based on the champion you're playing and what your elo is with that champion.
This is my main issue with that, though. With positional rankings, as it is, if you don't get the role that you want, people troll. So imagine if you don't get the role you want and you don't get the champion you want. It's like, okay, well, I'm a one-trick Yasuo player and they ban Yasuo, so let's go Ghost Cleanse new mid, right? And that's my issue with that. So I think it's interesting, but I don't know, Jade, do you have anything to add to that? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because you kind of like cringed a little bit when you said that.
Yeah, I don't. That sounds really interesting. I mean, I think what you're overall asking for is a better way for people to determine like mastery ranking and like how that looks. Because I mean, like a specific, I feel like that whole thing would only favorite like one tricks basically. Because you have
Yeah.
people that main 80 carry in like the pro scene and they play every single 80 carry, so you can't really like, you know what I mean? Just give them that whole position rank, not just like,
Right.
you know what I mean? The positional rank is kind of like the meta seems, and like everything about it seems kind of scuffed. And like look at other regions, they don't have it yet, and we are like the guinea pigs basically. So it's really like not good right now. But maybe they can fix it up later. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think that you might mention the mastery thing and like wanting more of like recognition towards that because you play like one champion. No, you don't play one champion. You're not like a. I would say both you guys aren't like a true one trick. Like at times you like only play a specific champion, like you said, Twitch rivals like Jin only, and then like I don't know, Monk, you play like a ton of Wukong, right?
Yeah, like Wukong's my jam, but Wukong's also garbage. So when it comes to competitive scenarios, I just don't play them. I'm not going to go and weigh my team down. I mean, I don't know if you watched our first round in Twitch Rivals, but I tried playing Wukong the first game and it immediately just didn't work because Wukong's playstyle is just so easy to counter. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we put him on Sejuani. Doesn't mean that.
I don't play
But he
Sejuani.
had to.
Like I just played it because I knew it would fit our composition and it would work. And hey, we got to the finals. Maybe we made some mistakes in the last series, but I don't think we would have gone as far as we did if I didn't change champions.
I just think it's really interesting that that's something like if we were to just talk about like changes that you wanted to see towards League of Legends, that's one of the things that comes to mind for you. And I think that's so crazy because I'm not a one trick. I don't main a specific champion. So like it's just really different to see like the point of views. Honestly, I would kind of hate something like that just because it's going to almost encourage people to one trick. And I feel like one tricking is kind of like not great for the game. Actually, let's just make this a subject in itself. So like one tricking. Let me tell you my perspective because I don't one trick anything, right? I look at one tricks as very unhealthy for the game because you can compare it to the positional ranks, right? Their whole idea of the positional rank was if somebody mains mid and then they get top, they're hurting their team because they're playing a role that they're not good at, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a one trick and you're not playing your one trick, you're hurting your team, right? So that's why I think one tricking just in general is like very unhealthy for the game. And then like especially when there's like a lot of streamers and stuff that like one trick and then their champion gets banned, they don't want to dodge or something or pick something else because then their viewers are going to get upset. So that's how I view one tricking. Do you guys have a different opinion being people who do main a specific champion at times?
Jaden, go ahead.
Honestly, I think that like so for me, I will pick a different one trick every single month. And basically I kind of determine like what I like. I don't know. I guess like I only one we talked about it earlier how I only one trick every so often. And then so it doesn't really affect me. And I feel like one tricks are unhealthy for just like in solo queue in general and like specifically for like in Twitch Rivals. How we couldn't even ban anything. You know what I mean?
We'll talk about that for sure because I was upset about that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't necessarily think there's like a huge problem. I just think that like maybe incorporating like what Monk said would not be like the best idea. But I don't know. I just feel like people just should be able to play whatever they want to play.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is a video game, right?
Yeah, we're just chilling. Yeah.
I guess you have a point. All right, Monk, what do you got?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a few different angles to look at this from. I mean, I think a lot of players go through binges with the champion where, hey, Kha'Zix is really good on this patch. I'm a jungle player. I'm going to play this month. Oh, Kha'Zix has got it. All right, who's next? Oh, Rengar is great now. Okay, I'll play Rengar for this month. Then you just binge Rengar, and that can kind of keep going and going and going. And, you know, for me, my default is Wukong when I'm in doubt, when I want to play something I enjoy, and I want to not feel limited by my mechanics since I'm not always practicing every single champion. But I have gone through the game and actually like played every single champion enough to make a good video. So I feel like I'm somebody who can adapt on the fly if I need to, which is I think what one tricks need to learn to do because their champion could get banned out. It could get picked away. If one trick players don't learn to play other champions on the fly, you're right. They're going to put their team at a disadvantage. But in the same moment, I can tell you from experience that if you can learn one champion, like completely master it, applying a lot of that same stuff you learned with that one champion to other champions to learn other ones, it just gets easier and easier every single time. Like if you only play one champion, it's going to be really hard to learn a second one. But if you know how to play like 5 or 6 or 7, learning that next one's going to be even easier. It just gets easier every single time.
Yeah, good points actually. I never thought about that. How like sometimes you could take aspects of a champion and just like apply it to other thing, right? Yeah, so like for all the Akali mains out there who are like still playing their 32% win rate champion or whatever, like I'm sure they could probably apply some of those mechanics to like I don't know some other assassin or whatever. But okay, I'm glad we kind of talked about that and I got to rant a little bit about how much I hate one tricks. Anyways, let's move on to another subject. So I want to talk about the League Partner Program. This is something that I had kind of like talked about a lot before the League Partner Program. Like I was always saying, like League is a bit of an aged game, right? It's been along for a long time, and I don't think it's dying. You know, some people say, "Oh, League's dying," whatever. I don't think the game's dying. I think the game's in a good spot. However, they're not promoting it as much as they used to, of course, because it's an aged game, right? So I was always saying, okay, we need something. We need some kind of program that'll encourage influencers and content creators to promote the game, right? To get the word out about League, even though it's an old game, you can still get the word out there. And then finally the League Partner Program came about, and I love every little bit of it. And we're not going to sit here and say anything bad about it because we're partners, right? But I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are overall about the League Partner Program. How has it helped you? What things you might want to see improved? What parts of it you really really enjoy? Just anything whatsoever around the League Partner Program. I just want to take a second to talk about this because at the same time, there's a lot of people out there who don't know what the League Partner Program is, like whatsoever, right? Every time I'm streaming, people are like, "Hey, what are those icons like on your skins?" I'm like, "Oh, I got them for the League Partner Program," right? People are like, "Oh, how'd you get Twitch Rivals?" "Oh, part of the League Partner Program," and nobody knows about it. So let's just talk about it. Whatever you guys want to say, take it any route that you want.
So I actually wanted to open up by saying I was there when they did the Odyssey event, and after the Odyssey event ended, like we went, they had a bunch of creators flown out, including like Boy, Box, a couple artists, and they all had us give input. And then at the end of the meeting, they had the streamers stay, and they introduced something called the League Partner Program, and they showed statistics of other games that included Twitch Prime, like rewards and stuff like that, and they showed how League kind of just like didn't do any of like what other games did, and they wanted us to tell like tell us what we thought would be like the best like kind of program, and they had been working on it for a really long time, and they had like so many slides to this, and they just wanted to like show us kind of like a sneak peek of it. I mean, and it's what we have today. So like we had like a little bit of say, but they kind of like already knew exactly what they wanted. And I remember talking to Sarah at the NELCS finals in Oakland, um, when it was her first week of working at League or at the partner program, and she came from the Twitch partner like place, like the Twitch partner staff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so and she just said that she wanted to basically create some kind of partner program that didn't exactly make people shoot for the requirements of like 75 viewers. You know how it's like 75 for partnership? She said like 50 would be good, and just like someone who's actively streaming League and just like, welcoming to the community and somewhat of representative or a good representative for League of Legends. And I think that like today, the little that they do for us goes a long way, because there's so many of us that there's like, they can only do like so much, like, oh, here's a little bit of skins, here's a little bit of this. It's so big for our channels though, and I feel like what League wants to do now is what they wanted to do and didn't do for so many years, is give like back some of like what they've earned, both like financially and like fan base wise, and just dump it onto their creators, and it's been amazing.
Hmm. I absolutely agree.
I think that I think you made a good point where it's like that all they could, like you said, oh, all they do is like give you some skins and stuff, but it goes like a long way. Like I joined the partner program and my channel, like it didn't blow up, right? I'm not like a big time, but like my channel's been doing so much better. Like Twitter, all my social medias, like Twitch, everything is just blowing up so much more because of the League Partner Program. And it really does like go a long way, and I'm so glad that they're doing this. I think that a big reason, this is the way I saw it, a big reason that they started it is because like when Fortnite was blowing up, right? Fortnite did a an outstanding job of like having the content creator to like average player connection, right? They just like offered so many things to the point where they have like creator codes, right, on Fortnite. So it's like, oh, if I want to like buy a skin, I can like support my favorite creator, right? They did all this stuff, and I think League was like, why haven't we been doing this whole time? And I think you also like had a good point. They're like, we're finally like giving back, and I really do enjoy it. But I do want to talk a little bit more, if you guys can even think of anything of ways to make it better. I think the one problem that I've seen so far with the League Partner Program is all of like the benefits are for people who play the game already, basically, right? So like skins are great, right? People who already play the game, they're like, yes, I want this limited edition skin. But somebody who's never played League before, if they see the skin, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to start playing League now just so I can get this skin, right? And I don't know how they can like encourage people to that aren't playing to play, but there's got to be some way where we can like get the people who have never played League start playing again.
So that was actually one of the things that they brought up at that meeting that I went to after the Odyssey event. And one of their main goals actually was to bring back some of the older players that left League and have them come back to the game, because they were saying like what brings people to League and how. It's like we mentioned, like, oh, when you're in high school, maybe like your friends will be like, hey, come play League. But the game is in itself is so difficult to like actually pick up and learn. So like to bring in like the new younger kids and have them come in is a little bit harder to do than like kind of grabbing some of the attention of like, the veteran players. Because I feel like a lot of people have left, like, when Darius did leave and stuff like that. Like a lot of people, they just completely left and they're like, okay, well, I just got bored of the game. And I mean, now with like, I remember they started doing like advertisements, like on Instagram, they do like this Blitzcrank has like the most hooks in the game or whatever. They just want to bring people back and like be like, oh, cool. Like, they're actually recognizing some of like their creators and their players and stuff. So, yeah.
I would say one thing that I've noticed actually is they are doing like advertisements now, right? Like I've seen like League of Legends commercials and stuff. I know they did like I don't
Oh,
know
they
if
do like
commercials.
commercials on like YouTube
Yeah.
or like, not, like
Yeah,
on.
like okay, ads. That's a better way, right?
Yeah.
Like they did like the Gordon Hayward one. They did like the double lift one. Like they've done stuff like that. So I think to that extent, like they are trying. Like League as a whole is trying to get new people, but the League partner program is still struggling with that. And I kind of feel bad that I'm mentioning this without throwing out an idea like, hey, this is an issue and this is how you solve it. I'm just like, this is an issue. Please solve it. Basically.
I think it's like mostly to just give back though.
Mm.
I mean, like as a creator that like plays League, I mean, like I can have some of like, I think giving those skins away does like give people a reason to come try out League because I mean, like I'm mainly like a League streamer, but I mean, like somebody that does variety may have like somebody that's like, oh, League, like that's cool. Like, oh, you're giving away something for the game. Maybe I'll try it out because it's like I wouldn't say that it's like um the creator's number one goal to like get them to like play a new game. You're kind of like supporting those who already support you. Does that make sense? Because it's kind of like weird to say like I don't know. I guess League's such an established game that it's like if you're mainly a League creator, then you just have like League fan base. So say like I
Yeah.
came from a different game, then start playing League. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that out. But it's like I already play League, so it's like I'm just gonna give back to the people that already play. You know what I mean?
Okay. Question for you. I'm gonna cut you off here and
Yeah,
switch
go ahead.
subject a little bit. So you said, what if we like got older people who left the game to come play, right? What if we got people who are variety streamers that have never played the game to play? Because I don't know if you know this, but like a lot of games that are new, like Apex Legends right now, right? People like that company pays streamers to play their game to get the word out there, right? Would that be like a terrible idea if we went and were like, hey, well, Summit 1G's already played before, but like some variety streamer, we're like, hey, Summit 1G, did they pay Ninja to play though?
They got Ninja to, I don't know. He got like some Varus quadra kill.
He played like 2 games, got like a penta, and then
Yeah.
I saw it like on some stream highlight, and then I never saw it again. But, like, is that such a crazy idea though to go and like pay big name people to play the game?
I mean, didn't they do like the WWE thing?
I didn't pay attention to that, so
Yeah, they're doing stuff. If you even like I peep sometimes at like the little like the Discord that we have and there's like important announcements and they talk about how like they're doing if you're ever like interested in doing something, they kind of like mention it. So yeah, they are like kind of branch out into like different communities that you wouldn't even expect. So yeah, they are doing that.
Monk, I feel like you haven't talked in a while. Do you want to say something? I feel like
I haven't
go.
said much in a little bit here. I feel like there definitely needs to be a different way to approach players who have played League before and have left, and people who have like never played League or even heard of it. Right? People who haven't played the game, I feel like if they have never played the game before and just like are totally new to it, you just need to find new ways to reach out to them. Whether it's getting variety streamers to promote League, or whether it's the WWE thing. I mean, even just like a like television ad. Like people still watch cable television, which is totally weird to me. I don't, but those who do, like let's get them motivated towards the next generation of technology, and let's get them playing League. Like let's get some cable television ads out. I mean, little things like that. I think Riot could be doing. But when it comes to bringing back players, that's a little bit tougher because they probably had a reason why they stopped playing. And I think one thing, if I was to talk about like maybe why they left, I feel like League has definitely evolved in a way that's so much more team focused than it was in say season 2 and season 1. Like teamwork was good back then, but you could solo carry. Whereas it doesn't feel like you can solo carry anymore. So I think a lot of players kind of lose interest in the fact their team can literally just lose the game for them when they play great. So I think what people need maybe is an opportunity to like work with teammates a little bit more easily. I mean, including the voice chat definitely was a step forward. but I feel like a sense of community is kind of missing unless you're like really invested in a creator. Like maybe what Riot needs is like more servers that people can go into to meet players that like play around the same elo and the same uh interests, I guess, as far as like what kind of team comps they want to play, and can just play with teams and actually like learn to play the game together. Like maybe League almost needs courses on like getting players who used to play the game to understand how teamwork works now. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense because I've realized like a lot of creators should probably cover that stuff, but I don't feel like it is covered like at all, which is kind of strange.
I don't know if I'm interpreting this the right way, but you mentioned courses and then you also mentioned like communication. And I feel like those are two big reasons why people end up not playing League. Because when you start playing League, it's so difficult, right? Like I played bots until I was level 30 and I was still dying to Annie and Tibbers like all the time, right? Like it's a really hard game to adapt to. And the fact that there's not like lessons like there's like the tutorial, right? But like the learning curve is like so big. So maybe like courses or something to help new players adapt to that. And also I think playing with people would also help a lot with that. So I think if they could add some kind of like lessons or courses in the early stages of the game and also make it easier to find and play with people, that would make it so not only I just think that would make it so that people continue to play the game. Because if you don't make it to like level 30, I feel like people get scared off, right? Because it takes so much time to play this game. Like I've tried so hard to get friends to play this game with me, and they play like a few games with me. They love it. Then they go home and play by themselves, and they go 0-15. They're like, I don't like this game anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like
you can't at this point in time. Like it's not fun. It
really rough.
Like, it's way more fun to play with people. Whereas back in the day, I could grind on my own and it'd be fine. And I don't know, maybe my tolerance for playing League has changed, but I feel like the game has changed itself as well. And so like a good way I think to maybe bring back players who used to play is maybe something like a YouTube ad or a Twitch ad that kind of says, hey, if you haven't touched your League account in X time, come back with an XP boost, right? Or an IP boost. Little things like that. Just get them playing again because they're going to be climbing, maybe not the elo ladder, but they'll get their levels up, maybe get some free stuff. Because I'm pretty sure every time you level up in League, even if it's beyond 30, you get like extra stuff for the loot. I don't
Something like that.
understand. Yeah, I don't fully understand how it works. But like I think an influence points sort of boost might be good so they can buy more champions and just experience what they missed a little bit more fast.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of ideas out there, and I think we covered quite a bit. Let's talk about Twitch rivals now. So I want to hear your guys' like perspective on the experience. Like, what did you like? What did you not like? I can't say much. Actually, I will. I'll say something. Okay. I doubt he'll ever see this or hear this, but Tiltarella, I'm so sorry you had to play on 250 ping as my top laner in Twitch Rivals. It was not fun. It was not fair at all. Okay, no flame towards you, but I wish my top laner didn't have 250 ping in the tournament. So the one complaint I would have about Twitch Rivals is the fact that it wasn't like, hey, if you're not in North America, right? If you're like living on the other side of the world, maybe you shouldn't be playing in Twitch Rivals, right? Great dude, funny dude, great positivity, right? He's like challenger elsewhere in the world. I don't mean any flame, but it's just like it wasn't fair. Whereas like, for example, one game he was playing Kale, right? And like our ADC died, and like 3 seconds later, he's like, I pressed R, but it just didn't go off. It's like he's just so far behind. So I didn't have much experience in Twitch Rivals, but that would be my one complaint moving forward. Like, hey, maybe we make it like region specific. But you guys scrimmed a ton more. You guys went a lot further than I did.
We actually like didn't scrim.
We didn't scrim much.
I played.
Our scrims were so bad.
We didn't.
Yeah.
Well, you played more than me. I played one scrim against Tyler One's team. He got a quadra kill at 5 minutes into the game, and then all chatted and said, "You guys gonna FF or what?" That was my only experience scrimming. So
yeah, when we scrimmed against Tyler One's team after the game, we were like, "Yeah, we need a few minutes," and he's like, "Let's be honest, you need more than a few minutes." He was a little bit, I don't know. It was all good fun, but.
So, what do you guys think? Like, what was good? What was bad? Obviously, losing must have been pretty bad, right? Feels bad, man. Yeah. But like, talk to me. How did it go?
Jaden, do you want to get us started, or should I take this one?
Yeah. That was crazy. The whole thing, dude. Every single team was telling me like, because just imagine, you ever watch Total Drama Island? That was on like what's it called on the Cartoon Network. Did you ever see
Yeah.
that show?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about,
You
yes.
get voted off the island, that kind of thing.
Basically, could you imagine? And like 60 creators, different all over the world. Some people don't like each other. Some people like each other. Some people hate each other. Some people just like want to just beat everyone like to the ground. So put them all together and.
It was great, honestly.
Oh my god, it was crazy. I think the one thing that I really loved about it is like I don't think I can ever say that I would get a chance to be able to play with the team that I got to play and the people that I got to play against. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I got to lane versus like this person, like for example, like Yasso. I got to lane versus like Tyler One. Like that was freaking insane. Like I got to play with like Monk and like Stylish, and I got to play with my favorite like freaking Thresh player. Like it was amazing. I think like that was what was like so great about it. And then the downsides were like being a smaller streamer, you get a lot of exposure, but a lot of it comes from I remember I was talking about it in the LPP Discord was like the bigger streamers, they would like their fan base if they lost, they would go to the smaller streamers and just like completely like mess them over. Like I
Yeah, a lot
got
of
my
flame.
like address was doxed, like you were posting in my chat. They were like saying some really, really bad stuff. And I remember like it's just like I was one of the lowest elos. I think we're like the same we were like the same elo. We're both like D4 or whatever. But
Yeah,
it
I
was
stopped playing.
it was bad. It was really bad.
So
Like,
I want to I'm gonna cut you off. I'm so sorry. I keep cutting people off. Okay.
no, you're all
I'm gonna comment on both the things that you just said. So the first thing, like about exposure, right? Like I didn't last much in the tournament, so I didn't get much exposure. Like I don't really care about that though. But one person, I was watching the stream. Do you guys know who Twigger is? He was the support on Tyler One's
Yeah,
team.
of course.
one team,
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like not like super big or anything, right? And people were just like flaming him all the time for like missing hooks and stuff. But he told me he was like, I could care less about the flame. He's like, I'm like I don't know what rank he is. He's like I'm like a gold player. I'm laning with Tyler One. Boy, I have KP and Force Within on my team. Like I'm having the time of my life. I'm getting to play against all these challenger players that like I've never played against. He's like I don't care how much I'm getting flamed. Like this is so much fun. But I do think like the whole exposure thing, it was really cool and also kind of bad at some points. The part that you mentioned, I didn't get experience that. Again, I lost first round. I don't know if you guys knew that already. I lost first round. Okay. But I was always thinking like if I had won first round and knocked out Cutie Pie and Shifter, like how mad would people have been?
Yeah,
you
that
know,
would be cool.
Because there's probably like 40,000 people combined watching their stream between the two of them like, during Twitch Rivals. So I'm just thinking like if I just like pissed off 40,000 people, that would have been like cool for me, but like pretty bad. And I can only imagine like the kind of stuff.
Double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, for sure. So Jaden, did you have anything else you want to say before I cut you off? Monk, what do you think? What do you think?
All right, well, we brought up two things, right? The double-edged sword to knocking out more popular people, and then the other double-edged sword of maybe more exposure, but then people flood your chat and are toxic and flame towards you, right? Well, I think being that we do this kind of stuff, streaming, making videos, whatever, we're pretty used to the toxic behavior. When there's a huge influx of it, it's a little bit surprising and kind of takes you back for a second. But in the same moment, I think we're all kind of cut out for it if we're going to be like doing this kind of thing. So I don't see that as a huge issue. But what I do see as an issue is when people get addresses. Jaden, you were mentioning they found your address and were like spreading that.
They're spamming in my chat.
Yeah, like that's where I draw the line.
Crazy.
Like anything that's actually like affecting your safety, like your personal information, that's where I draw the line. But like if we lost and all of Stylish's fans come into our chat, which actually did happen, and tell me that I should go and like jump off a bridge because I missed the Sejuani ult, like that sucks to hear. But in the same moment, like I really don't care. Like thanks for the ad revenue, bud. My stream.
I mean, there's like the common phrase. I'll probably butcher it, but it's like don't go in the kitchen if you don't want to get burned or something like that. Is that a saying?
Yeah, that mean I don't know if exactly that's the saying, but I know
something like that.
Don't get into streaming if you're not gonna be able to handle people being toxic in your chat.
Yeah, I mean it sucks to admit, but like the internet is full of toxic people. So if you're going to broadcast on the internet, like I know it sounds terrible to say, like, hey, get ready for people to tell you to kill yourself, but it's like, just, you have to understand that it will happen, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of does suck. One thing that none of us actually talked about was, like, the ban system. Like, it was just blind pick, which the competitive aspect of me was like, no, I want to be able to, do my research and like figure out, okay, I think they're gonna have this team comp. Let's try to ban this. Let's like, do this, do that. And then it was just blind pick, and I kind of understand because like nobody was gonna want to watch LL Stylish not play Zed at least once, right? Nobody was gonna want to watch Yasuo ever want to play or not play Yasuo, right? Do you guys have an opinion on that?
Yeah, it was a for fun tournament, but
Yeah.
there was money involved. So
Mm-hmm. The
and if you
money,
make a
yeah.
mistake- yeah, the money just it. I feel like it crushed it for a lot of people, and it twisted the minds of a lot of the viewers. Because like, if I were to make a mistake, it became so much deeper. It became I was the reason why so and so didn't get this much money, like
Mhm.
thousands of dollars, and they're like comparing like revenue, and I'm like, you're thinking way too deep in it. Like this is, I'm trying my best, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just,
Would you guys have played in the tournament if it was 100% free?
Yes.
Absolutely, right?
dude, because like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I signed up
either
thinking
way.
that it was a for fun tournament with no
Yeah.
money involved, and then I like the week before they're like, "Hey, by the way, like
There's
the
this
prize
much
pool is
money.
like $75,000," and I was like, "Excuse me?" Like, okay, well, I guess I have to try now, right? But I was like so down to play without money involved whatsoever, and I do think that was a good point. Where it's like if there's no money involved, like oh, who cares if Yasuo picks Yasuo or LL Stylish picks Zed, but and I also think that kind of alluded to the toxicity, right? Because there's more on the line, and people want to see their favorite streamers win and stuff. But
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, to kind of double up on what you just said, like I would have played if there was no money and like no one had their stream on, like it had to be off, and there was no like actual Twitch rival stream. Like if there was zero like footage being shown to the like audiences
mhm.
and no money, like I still would have done it because it was an opportunity to meet my teammates, which was really cool, and
Yeah.
also an opportunity to play against all these players. Like that's what I was all about.
Yeah, I think that's actually super like I think it's super cool the fact that we were able to like play with other creators. I think
Yeah.
that I hate comparing League to Fortnite because people always like flame me whenever I even mention Fortnite. But like Fortnite, a big reason that it grew, or another reason that it grew, is because like you see creators playing together, right? You combine audiences, and the only way I ever see audiences getting combined is like through host, right? Like sometimes, let's say Jaden hosts me, right? Maybe 10 people leave me a follow, and then later on they watch my stream and enjoy me, right? That's the only way though that I get to share an audience. And I think that in Fortnite it's like, oh, these two creators are playing together, so I get to like learn more about this other creator. And that was a huge benefit, and I love that aspect of Twitch rivals. It's just like, maybe you two had never known each other or played together, but then you guys, your audiences get to witness each other. So I think that if there's no money involved whatsoever, just the opportunity to play with other creators would have been like plenty for me. Now,
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. I think part of the problem with League and people collaborating and duo queuing is there's first off elo that can separate people, right? Like I can't duo with a gold player if I'm in diamond, as an example. But to go beyond that, even if you were to duo and they're like similar elos, I think for a long time there was actually something in like the matchmaking algorithm that punished you for doing and put like the weaker teammates, the extra three players in your team, to be weaker, so that you had to like step up if you brought a duo, which like really makes people want to play on their own even more.
I think the way it works is if you duo, you're matched up against higher ranked players. That way, because it's trying to take into account the fact that you're gonna have like a bonus as far as like synergy and communication.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a big issue. It's like, okay, we want creators to play together because there's like a lot of benefits with that, but ranked is like the only thing that really matters, or not the only thing, but like when you watch a League of Legends streamer, you don't watch them typically to play ARAM, right? You watch them to play ranked. So it's like maybe they're playing with one other person, but then yeah, that's about it. Like Flex Q is just like gone, right? Nobody cares about Flex Q anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
there was like
Some people only play flex queue. Surprisingly, there's some people.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to get diamond in both solo queue and flex queue, but I just didn't invest enough in flex queue to even do that. Like, I think finished somewhere like in platinum in flex queue, just because like even though I wanted to do that, I just couldn't bring myself to do it because it's just like this is pointless. It's flex queue.
See, I wouldn't care about it being pointless as far as the rank goes if I was able to like play with other creators, but because FlexQ as a whole is just such a joke, it's so hard to get like four other creators to be like, hey, let's play FlexQ together, like stream it. Everybody's gonna be like, I could do that, or I could just play solo queue and my viewers would rather watch that, right?
It's true.
So there's a lot of things that I feel like League needs to work on. I'm starting to realize that the more we talk about stuff during this podcast. Anyways, let's move on to another subject, okay? Let's talk about being a content creator, being a YouTuber or streamer. How did I want to start this off? I forgot. Oh, this is what I wanted to ask. How do you guys handle chat interaction and just like being an entertainer in general while also being good at the game? Because, you know, none of you guys have a rank that's like something to laugh at, I would say, right? So how do you guys handle that?
Jaden, do you want to take this one first?
Yeah. I'm like known for reading almost every single message,
Mhm.
and that in turn goes to every like millisecond. Instead of looking at the mini map, I'll read my Twitch chat, which is pretty bad because I should be focusing on the game. But yeah, no, I'm just like super interactive, and like the kind of like creator and streamer I've always like wanted to be was like the kind of one that I would always want to like watch and support. So like whenever I post a new YouTube video, I like I watch it a lot because I like paid someone to like make it for me, and I want to share it with like my community. So it's like content not only for me, but like for other people. I don't really watch my VODs as much, but I just know that like I try to be the type of like person I always wanted to support as well.
I like that a lot. I kind of had that same approach a little bit because I remember like a few years ago before I like started YouTube or stream or anything, and I would go to a streamer that I liked and I'd say something in the chat. If they responded to me, I'd be so happy, right? So it's like
Yeah.
every time somebody says something in the chat, I'm like, what if me just saying hello so and so, like what if that makes their day? Like what if they look up to me to that extent, right? Like it might sound like a little like conceited or cocky, but like you don't know, right? And like there's no true harm in doing that. But there are like different types of streaming, like streamers, I would say. Like there's some streamers that are just like no mic, no cam. I'm focusing on the gameplay, right? And that's
Yeah.
fine.
Totally
But
fine.
I do think that that there's can sometimes be a fine line, and sometimes you know you do have to sacrifice a little bit of your gameplay to like interact with your chat.
There's a different type of stream for everybody. I feel like it's like
Yeah,
TV.
absolutely.
True. Monk, what do you got to say about this subject? Like, how do you handle streaming and being good at the game?
Well, I'll admit streaming and being good at the game is not a recipe I have mastered yet. Because when I stream, it's definitely very inconsistent. Where some games, you know, my strategy just doesn't work. I do bad. But other games, I pop off and I'm like, holy crap, this is so much better than just recording this off stream because people are getting to see it live as I'm getting great footage to post to my YouTube channel. So it's kind of a double edged sword in that way. And admittedly, I haven't been streaming much this season so far, but I think I'm going to get back into it and try and figure out what works for me. And what I'm thinking that might be best for me is even to potentially set a stream delay and just like not look at chat when I'm in game. I'm kind of very different from Jaden that way, where I find myself very immersed in the game. And if I glance at chat, that could be that same split second that something's happening in the game that I'm just gonna get myself killed over because I looked away. So I feel like if I have the chat delayed, this is just an idea by the way, but if I had the chat delayed, then it's not going to correlate with what I'm doing in that moment anyway. So it's pointless to look at it until the game's over, at which point I can kind of go back and maybe answer some questions, you know, give some feedback to the chat as they're maybe interacting with me. But I feel like when I'm in game, I really don't like distractions. Like sometimes I'll even like miss reading the in-game chat because I'm just like in the zone. Like I'll respond to pings, but even like reading things, I'm just like, no, not about that. I'm too busy commentating.
I mean, that's good though. Like, I think Jada made a great comment. It was like, it's like TV. Like, not everybody's gonna like Game of Thrones. Not everybody's gonna like,
Yeah.
freaking the New
No.
Girl. I don't know. I can't think of shows
I
off the top
love
of my head.
it.
Great show. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, there's gonna be tons of people out there that are just like, I don't care how much he commentates. I just want to watch CaptainMonk go 12-0 on Wukong, right? So, more about streaming. I think a lot of people out there are gonna want to hear your opinions on this, and I want to talk about like what is the best way to get into streaming and creating YouTube videos. And I'll start by kind of doing a little bit of a segue. I think one of the most important things is being unique, right? Nobody wants to watch you try to mimic what somebody else has already done. So as an example, like what makes me unique? I'm a support main, which support is like kind of an underrated role. Not a lot of people do it, right? I'm informative, so people who want to learn about how to get better at support, there's like me and then like a handful of other creators, right? So that's what I would say makes me unique. So why don't you guys give me an example? Like what would you say makes you unique as a YouTuber and a streamer? Jaden first as always.
I mean, I can literally just do an introduction and that's it. Like, I'm a 20-year-old girl from San Francisco or like Bay Area playing like Callista. Like, I don't know. I have what I love. Like, I have my signature champion. Like, I am an 80 carry main. Like, I legit have like my 80 carry tattoo. Like, I'm obsessed with the game, and I put as much passion in it as like any other person that plays League. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, and I think that that's like really like great. I just think that like I don't know. We're just like being yeah, being your I mean being unique, but then also like being yourself. I get like it's kind of different because like when I'm thinking about what Monk said, we are like really there's different things like kinds of streamers, and like I guess for me it's like more of like personality instead of like commentating. Like I'll commentate, I'll be like, yeah, this is a joke. Like I'm not really commentating. Like you know what I mean? It's like yeah, I'll say like that, and I'll like get into like why I built something sometimes, but like that's not really you know what I mean. I'm not really shooting for that like target audience. But I mean, yeah, I
Hmm.
just yeah. I don't know if we're giving advice yet, but like
No,
just
I
like
just
I don't
like
know.
what makes your stream unique. Not so much advice.
Yeah,
What about you,
yeah.
Monk?
Just introduction, yeah.
Hmm.
What makes
Well,
your stream unique?
what makes my stream unique over the years has been my ability to adapt to different champions, different roles, and really break it down to like the dead basics so that anybody who's never even played League before can understand everything I'm doing and why, because I explain every last detail. Hey, we're playing Fiora top. I'm taking Dorn's Shield because this is the best item to take against this top laner. I'm in this matchup, so I need to watch out for this. I'm going to be looking to do this. This is how I'm going to win. And hey, 5 minutes later, I'm killing him in that exact way. Right? Like I break it down. But of course, the problem is that there's so many things in the game and they're always adding more and more stuff that I think doing that and having that be my specialty is getting tougher and tougher all the time because there's just more champions, right? There's more rune setups. There's more ways to do things. And the game, it's got this power curve where things are happening faster, more damage. And I find it's getting tougher for me to do what it is I'm best at because of how much faster everything's going out.
Understandable. So
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to talk about that, even though it might seem like I don't know silly to you guys because you're just like talking about yourself and it seems like an introduction. But it just like goes to show that like being unique can go a long ways, right? You guys, you might not want to admit it, but you guys have both been very, very successful already. Like Jaden, your stream is like blowing up like crazy. Monk, you got like 200,000 views, and some of your videos are just like thousands and thousands of thousands of views. Like you guys are like really, really good examples for other people out there who are looking to get into like a career like this. So I just wanted to point out how like being unique and like being yourselves, like you guys have been doing, really can go a long way. Aside from that, though, what else? What kind of advice would you guys give to people? There's gonna be someone out there who streams like twice a week and they get like 3 viewers every stream, and they're like, "What am I doing wrong?" Like, what do you guys have to say?
You want me to start or you want to go?
Ladies first. We established that rule at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every question you have to answer first.
So basically, I would say that unfortunately, no matter like how much time you put into it, you can't like give yourself like how much growth you think you're gonna get. Like say someone does a 24-hour stream and then they're like, if I don't get 100 followers but by the end of the stream, like then I'll never be able to make it. It's like someone came to my stream last night and was like, you have all this like support and I'll never even have that. And it's like you can't go into streaming expecting like the world to be given to you. You know what I mean? It's like you never know what someone did to get to the position that they are now. You know what I'm
Very
saying?
true. Yeah.
Yeah, so my just greatest advice are like the things that I would say is just like consistency, interaction, and just like the whole uniqueness factor, or just, I don't know, just not being, as you said before, like a copy of someone else, just having a good time and doing what you enjoy.
Definitely. Monk, what about you?
I was just trying to think of a good analogy to describe what I think it takes to be successful in this kind of work. And I think I've got a good way to describe it. So, if you guys, each played Jenga?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
of
Okay,
course.
cool. So for those who don't know, Jenga, you take these like wooden logs basically, and you just kind of stack them up, and then you slide pieces out, and when it collapses, you lose, right? And you take turns until the person, of course, who slides it out makes it collapse. Basically, where I think is happening with the League of Legends content and streaming industry is everybody's creating their own thing of Jenga, and they're trying to just like top it off consistently. And eventually, some people, they make their own tower of Jenga collapse because they're trying to top it off too much and moving things from the bottom. So, what you need to do is you need to basically create a tower in Jenga like other people's, but go above without collapsing. Because you could put your whole life into this and you could still not get anywhere. So, that could be really, really frustrating. And if you put your whole life into it and you make it, but then you collapse, then it's over. So, you need to find a way to create a tower in Jenga that's going to be taller than other people's so you can get noticed while in the same moment it's sustainable because you don't want to like destroy yourself doing this. It's actually like a pretty slippery slope. A lot of people don't realize that. Like a lot of people fully invest themselves into streaming and all this kind of stuff and like completely forget about the rest of their lives. They almost like create a new identity. And then when they return to like reality, when like their streaming career is kind of dying down, they don't even know who they are anymore. So there's like a lot of things to consider with this kind of work. But I think if you can find a niche, something you're good at, something you like doing, and you can do it better than anybody else, make the biggest Jenga tower of anybody else in that specific niche, you can thrive. You just got to stick with it.
Wow. So
Damn,
maybe
Taylor.
I shouldn't have gone last because I don't want to top that Jenga
The
analogy.
Jenga thing, it works though, right? Like now that
Yeah,
I put it
no,
out,
I love me some good analogies.
yeah.
The advice that I'd give two pieces of advice. First one's very simple. Don't stream for money. Basically,
Oh,
like
yeah.
streaming has become more and more mainstream, right? Like see, if you go back to when you were in kindergarten, right? And people were like, "What do you want to be when you're older?" It would be like, "I want to be an astronaut," right? There's literally like fourth graders out there these days that are like, "I want to be like Ninja," right? Everybody wants to stream now because it's just becoming more and more popular, and people that like there's like the reports about how much Ninja made, how he's making like $500,000 a month and stuff like this. And people are like, wow, all I have to do is play video games and I make money. It's like
It's not
don't
feasible.
don't have that approach to it. Like if you're streaming for the sake of making money, you're just going to be disappointed because there's days where you'll make a bunch of money and like donations and stuff and you'll just have the time of your life and have a ton of fun streaming, and other days you'll stream for like an hour and you're going to be like, I'm tilted, I'm playing bad, I have less viewers than usual, I'm not getting donations, nobody's subbing, right? It's going to happen. So don't have that approach when it comes to streaming. Don't stream for the sake of like making money. Stream because it's something you enjoy, and stream you enjoy playing a game, right? And you enjoy interacting with people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other piece of advice that I'll give to creating YouTube content and streaming is, this is actually probably more for YouTube, is you have to be consistent because there's a lot of luck that goes into YouTube videos specifically. Like you could put your heart and soul and put 40 hours into editing this one video and then doesn't get any views. And then like you can't just be disappointed though, because like YouTube is like so random at times. Unless you like know the exact algorithm, like you it's just gonna be all over the place, right? Like my channel, I uploaded 20 videos before I finally had a video pop off, and then it just got like tons and tons of views, and that's how like my channel started, right? So you have to be consistent because there is a certain amount of luck involved, basically, right? So you just gotta keep trying and trying and trying, and I know that sucks. Like I think Jaden made an example earlier. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna, don't like give yourself 24 hours. Be like, if I stream for 24 hours and I don't get 100 viewers, I'm giving up, right? Don't say I'm gonna upload 50 videos. If I don't have 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving up, because
Mm-hmm.
there is some luck involved. You know, if you're streaming, maybe one day a big streamer like hosts you, right, and that like starts your channel. Maybe one day you just have a YouTube video that you didn't think was super great, but all of a sudden it just blows up. So that there is some luck involved, and you have to be consistent in order to get to that point, because it can be a little random.
I was
Yeah.
gonna I was gonna mention like what I thought you were gonna say is like keeping up the momentum, especially when something like that happens. Like
Yeah.
someone asked me yesterday actually like what happened to me because I went from like 20 viewers to like I get like 550 on average now with like no host, and it's like it's so huge for me. and it's been about like a year and a half. And all I've done is just stream League. And basically, what I said was like I could go on, but like people oftentimes are like, how do you grow? You know what I mean? Because like you can do all these things. I can be consistent. I can do this. I can make YouTube videos, but I get no views. I don't get, you know what I mean? So what the thing is that I said is like, once you figure out like all those like algorithms of like consistency, there's what we said earlier. There's like that luck. There's hosts. You can't expect them, but they might happen. There's like the exposure that I've gotten like personally from like the LPP and just like the YouTube video highlights. Those have been pretty memey, but they've been really good to my channel. Um, and yeah, just like word of mouth and just people enjoying your content and then they share it with friends and they share it with their family and it spreads like a wildfire. So
Yeah, a big thing about momentum is like, let's say somebody stumbles across your stream, right? And they love your stream. They like subscribe instantly, right? If you don't stream though for like 2 months, they're gonna be like, oh, who's this person that I subscribed to? Like, okay, I guess I'm gonna unfollow them. I don't even remember them, right? If somebody watches a YouTube video that they love and they subscribe and they're like, wow, I'm so happy I found this creator, but then you don't upload again, they're gonna be like, wait, who is this guy? Like, I don't remember why I subscribed. So momentum, definitely like build off of momentum. If something's going for you, keep going with it, right? So a good final point there. That's actually all the topics that I had for today. I think we have like a good variety of like streaming and Twitch rivals and
yeah.
blaming our solo queue teammates and stuff like that. Aside from the links in the description, which again, I'll have links for all you guys. Is there like one specific thing you want to shout out? Like, hey, please go check me out on Twitch or whatever. Jaden, females first.
Go ahead
Come
first.
I could say twitch.tv/yourprincess, but I mean it's whatever. I'm just here to talk to you guys. But
Aww. Monk, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I was just here to participate because this seemed like a lot of fun.
All right,
It
you guys,
definitely was,
you guys
so
are
thank
being lame and not taking advantage
Alright,
of
guys,
this.
I want you to subscribe to Nasteey.
Have you guys ever heard of Twitch Prime?
No.
If you guys haven't,
You
okay.
never said that. Oh my God.
Okay, we'll go. All right, this.
Subscribe to Nasteey, please. Thank you.
Okay, stop. No, you're only allowed to promote yourself. This was a lot of fun though. Thank you guys so much for doing this. Like I said, you guys are a lot bigger and more successful than me. So the fact that you guys would go and do this with me, I really do appreciate it. That's all that I have for today though. Again, be sure to go check out your Princess and CaptainMonk using the links in the description. And yeah, I think that's all I got. And until next time, thank you guys for watching and peace.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh my god, I wasn't recording the whole time.